Hey y'all, and welcome to We Seek Summits, and today we are going to talk about
snake oil. The original.
And you're probably scratching your head like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Because we are talking about tea tree.
Tea tree, Melaluca alternifolia.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with a story because this is actually where the term snake oil salesman came from. So Melaluca, over 200 species, and so lots of chemotypes. Maybe we have talked about them before, maybe not, but when you have a broad species like Melaluca, you're going to pick certain plants or genus within that species specifically for what chemicals they express when we talk about essential oils. Now, this particular Melaluca was used by Aboriginals from Australia for treating venomous snake bites, and they would, crush the leaves, put it on the wound. They
would sometimes inhale for any respiratory things or fighting, immune boosting stuff as well. It was very common. Sorry.
Yeah. So they taught the English when they came over, and then when America was pioneering the West, they kind of knew from their English background, hey, that snake oil, that Melaluca oil is actually very helpful. And so unfortunately, though, as people were migrating west and this was happening, fraud was introduced, right? It's kind of hard before the global supply chain that we have now to kind of get the real deal.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, people were passing off Melaluca oil as something else. It wasn't helping with the bites, and lo and behold, we kind of coined the term snake oil salesman to be something fraudulent. So
and y'all, we're kind of seeing the same thing today, which is one of the reasons that we only recommend doTERRA. Is what they were seeing is like, hey, this tincture is either not effective, it's a waste of money, or it just doesn't work very well. The adulteration, the totally fake stuff put in, and so anyway, it's still kind of a big deal. And I know that a lot of people kind of think the same thing when they hear about essential oils as they think snake oil. So there's a reason that it was originally used. There's a reason that it is still used. There's a reason it is highly effective. And tea tree is not in that many blends, but is in a ton of DIY recipes, and it is good for all things cleansing, relationships, environment, external on the body, internal on the body, in the home, on surfaces. So there are a ton of uses for tea tree. And let's get into, I always like to start with chemistry. So tell us the interesting things and why we should care.
Yeah, so I want to go back to chemotypes. So this is the alternifolia, which is the type of Melaluca that is tea tree that we use. And so specifically what we're going to find here are monoterpene and phenol chemistry. So Jesse already said it's very cleansing. Okay, monoterpenes cleansing to the cells. Phenols are very cleansing to the environment. They're very rich molecules in electrons. They react with stuff. They destroy stuff. Kind of let your mind wander from there, why it's a very cleansing oil.
Yes.
Now, going back to the chemotypes, there's lots of other Melalucas. This is the one that is most used as an essential oil, sold by doTERRA.
Yes.
But, you have other Melalucas that express more cineol chemistry. So, but we have eucalyptus for that. So we get the 1,8 cineol predominantly in eucalyptus. So we don't need that Melaluca. And then there's a host of others. But that's, if you ever hear the term chemotype, it's just what chemistry is being expressed by the plant. And here we want the alpha and gamma terpenes, which are monoterpenes, and the terpenin 4-ol, which is the phenol, which is very cleansing.
Okay. And as with, the eucalyptus as well, they all originate in Australia. But so doTERRA harvests from there. But also the Melaluca plant does really well in Kenya. So as part of the supporting the local farmers and harvesters there, they do geranium, but they also grow some tea tree there as well in Kenya.
Yeah.
So, okay, cleansing of things. Let me quickly talk about the blends that it's in. It is in the Breathe Respiratory blend. So again, just supporting all things respiratory. And we actually learned just a little tip and trick is the new Airx blend is amazing for preventative, supporting the respiratory system, and then Breathe is amazing.
Well, going back, it was specifically developed for the Chinese market for the air quality issues that are very frequently happening in China.
Yes.
So Airx, if you're in an urban environment, Airx is awesome to diffuse.
And then Breathe would be, and it's not even a little bit more efficient, but Breathe is a great one to use reactively if you start getting something. Or honestly, in Houston, every time we get a hurricane or a storm of any kind, a whole bunch of stuff gets kicked up into the air. Everybody's coughing, everybody's breathing in junk. So Breathe is just an amazing one. It's also great for any kind of nighttime diffuser blends to just support great oxygenation of the body and great sleep. And then it is in Purify, our amazing Purify. And now we have the new Abode, which Abode was specifically formulated for the cleansing of the environment and the cleansing of the air. So we are testing out and loving the new home cleaning products, but this is always also an amazing one to diffuse. And it is actually, Abode is a great one to diffuse at night, because I know that a lot of issues that my friends are dealing with and friends' kids are dealing with are either mold activated or are exacerbated by things in the air and in the home.
Yeah.
So diffusing this.
I mean, I think kind of what we've fallen into with our children is there are 3 oils in their bathroom that we diffuse at night. One is Serenity, one is Adaptive, and one is Abode. Yeah. And it's just kind of what are the needs of that night? You know, are they anxious? Do they need the Adaptive maybe that night? Are they just needing a good night's rest? Maybe they have the Serenity. Or if it kind of doesn't meet one of those, and we just want to make sure they have clean air to breathe, it's Abode. So awesome, you know, take that away. We also kind of skipped over a method of extraction.
Oh,
so it is just steam distilled from the leaves. So it's a very conventionally refined or extracted, essential oil.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of confusion on the internal or not issue on the tea tree. doTERRA was calling it melaluca based on, again, the Latin name of the plant. They have not changed the name, but they've renamed it the tea tree, which is in a little bit more agreement with the international standard. Most of us know tea tree already, and everybody was saying, what was melaluca? I know, because that's when I started. I was saying, what? How do you spell that? It is not recommended safe for internal use as the tea tree. We used to use the Melaluca, safe for internal use. It's the same oil, same bottle, so take what you want from that.
But neat topically and diffusing are great ways to use tea tree. And then there's
it's
also
highly effective.
Melaluca Touch, if you just kind of want a no mess, no fuss way to apply to your skin.
And this is one that I would say, so this one lives in my little pouch in the car, and I've got kind of 6 oils in there that I feel like I can handle almost anything with, and this is one of them. This would be any kind of emergency go-to oil, anything on the skin, anything on the face, whatever. Keep this one really handy. And I just thought of a little note. It is incredibly powerful topically and aromatically, but with that there's a little note. This is one of the few oils that is not recommended for use on your pets. If you can all see her, she's right here chilling, Kalachi's there. You can diffuse it like if it's in Abode or if you're cleaning your surfaces, but make sure that the pets can leave the room if they don't like it, and particularly if you have small dogs or cats. This is definitely one that you would want to stay away from or do a lot less. And maybe look for, like, you know, lemon to clean your floors or On Guard, but otherwise the rest of the surfaces and diffusing would be great as long as they can leave the room if they don't like it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And we have a big dog, and she actually doesn't really care, but we always try and leave a door open if she doesn't want to leave, because some of the scents are strong. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about cleansing in general, but it is very cleansing to anything that is going on in the body, whether it's a foreign invader, whether something is off in the body, whether it's like a little bug that you don't want in the body. It's a great one to be diffusing. Great for any bugs on the body, in particular the scalp. It is also amazing for the skin, hair, integumentary system cleansing rituals. So there are a ton of DIY recipes on the doTERRA website on the blog. So just start typing in tea tree and all these blog articles come up for like a detangling spray and a scalp cleansing spray. I know my friend adds it into her just daily scalp care for prevention of the bug transmission that tends to happen in schools. It is incredible for anything that you might be fighting on your nails. You can do like kind of tea tree baths, or sort of rub your cuticles or your toes with that. It's great for cleansing stuff in the skin, so it's in my daily cleansing. See, I'm saying cleansing a lot. Do y'all get the point?
Yeah, I think we get the point. And, I mean, it smells nice. It's grassy.
Yeah.
It's bright. It's an enjoyable scent.
Yeah. With that, speaking of blending, it's kind of in your middle notes of the blend. It definitely brings a grassy, herbal, herbaceous element to it. So it goes well with kind of some other grasses like a lemongrass. It also could do a little bit of spice, like maybe a cassia. And then there's so many things to talk about with this one, but then it's also really simple. Just use it.
Yeah, and we have another book, the Modern Essentials book, and there's a whole page of references of studies that have been done with research with this oil.
Yeah.
I mean, probably second, I'm going on a limb here, but probably second to lavender, tea tree.
Actually, I think they say tea tree is number one.
Actually, in the most,
Yeah.
there you go. So lots of research,
Yes.
lots of applications. You kind of understand why it's in so many DIY things.
Yeah. Here, you want to talk about the emotional?
No, I think you hit it about cleansing toxic relationships. I mean,
There you go.
That's really
it
what
for the
is.
emotional stuff. Is really to help set healthy boundaries, or when boundaries are being crossed, a little bit to either stand up for yourself more, to set good boundaries, to cleanse. What'd you say? You said it really well. Cleanse from toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Or if your kiddos are having trouble, if they're getting maybe picked on a little bit in school, and this might be one to kind of help bolster their confidence a little bit, to help stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so much.
So much. We're scratching the surface. So
Yes.
get in the comments. Let us know
Yes.
how you use tea tree or melaluca, if you like to call it that.
Yeah.
Look forward to reading that. And anything else to say?
I don't know. I was trying to think of a couple other ways that we use this commonly. Tea tree is in our junk blend, and it's what I use for just all things junk. Whatever starts going on, we go. So it's On Guard, oregano, tea tree, turmeric, frankincense, lemon, and I've added copaiba. I feel like I just kind of keep adding. But tea tree and oregano are a very powerful combo for anything that you are fighting internally. So get those two going together, and then especially with On Guard, it's amazing. And talking about, one more thing I was going to say. Cleansing, we have this little glass spray bottle, which I'm going to fill up, that is the tea tree and lemon. I put the little stickers on there so I know. And what I do is put just a little bit of salt in there. It helps increase the salinity of the water. Also, salt is very cleansing. Put a couple drops in here, and then we use this from everything on the body to stinky couches, to stinky clothes, anything that you need to give a quick just spray refresher to, stinky pits.
Yeah, if you got a kid in football and you want to spray down his gear, things like that.
Yeah. So give this kind of a quick little shake. This is also, I don't know if this is TMI, but we have ladies' little bit of sensitivity in a private area, and it just needs sometimes a little bit of cleansing and refreshing, and just a little spray of this will help cleanse and refresh.
There you go.
Should we end on that note?
Yeah, I mean, it is great for anything cleaning, cleansing, and that's kind of the thing to remember. So,
and the ouch blend. It's also a common in what?
And Correctex.
And Correctex.
I mean,
yes.
Seeing the theme here?
See? Correctex. We used to do nightly Correctex counts of all the cuts, bruises, scrapes, gashes, rashes, skin, anything, and Correctex is amazing. So yes, tea tree is a part of that.
There's a reason those Australian Aboriginals were crushing and smelling and using these leaves
on something. So
you do it too.
Use the pure stuff. Use the good stuff. It is highly effective, and
we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.